for Lester and Jeff, you know, we're finally on the other side of the curtain, and in this episode, in this kind of finale, we are actually brought in voluntarily by the gang into our first official mission, which we go about tackling in the only way that we know how, and very much in the way that we're wont to do, which you'll see what happens. That I moved to Los Angeles for this show, and so I didn't really know anybody, and so by surrogacy, these people became my family and my friends, and so I would have been attached to them anyway. But they are such a fun, as you say, fantastic group of people that I couldn't have been luckier. I mean, I'm a bit of an animal, and I need some kind of zoo around me. And these are like just a fantastic group of people to have kind of been my anchor here. And I think that as time goes on and I look back on the show and the people, I'll realize even more deeply how important that was for me. I've done stuff in the last 5 episodes that is amongst my favorite that I've gotten to do all series. Going back, I think the first time that I picked up the microphone and we became Jeffster was certainly one of my, something I'll never forget. It was a beautiful episode, I thought, writing-wise, and between me and Scotty, aka Jeff. But in the last little while, there's been exchanges, little pieces of dialogue that is so, it's so sweet and so kind of juste and perfect in terms of their relationship and their friendship that this is the stuff that I'm going to remember a lot. I've grown to love this character so deeply because he wears, this eggshell of rage and insanity and madness outside him, but on the inside, he's a very soft, broken boy. And I don't know if before this he would have ever been ready to jump into the spy world. So I've really had a phenomenal time kind of, Jeff and Lester create this little bubble of their own, this world that only really affects them and sometimes crosses over. But I've enjoyed developing that relationship a lot. I've never been somebody who said I need to go into the spy world, or as fun as that is, and as much as I've wanted to use my body for some fightness, I just like the development and the deepening of the character more than anything. I've never been a part of something like this. I've done shows before, and when you say what are you going to miss about the show, it is a 3-part thing. It's the character, it's the people, and it's the fans. They've carried us on their back. It's because of them that we're here, and I really am happy that if the show had to end, that we get to end it on our terms because we give them a proper ending, and they deserve that more than even we deserve that. They deserve to have the story that they pushed for, that they wanted, come to a proper close. It's been unbelievable. It's been one of the most eye-opening new experiences that I've gone through in dealing with fans of this show. I mean, they've done so many songs that that I'm both horrified by and have had the hardest time tackling. I think that the tougher the song, the more brutal it is to sing for a non-singer like me, that will go on that playlist, because that seems to be the methodology of how they pick their songs. They're like, what's a note that almost no one can hit? Let's get Vik to try that. So that's, I think, how they go about it. The singing part has just been an unbelievably new learning curve for me, to get into the studio with Tim Jones and work songs. That's another thing that I'm really gonna miss doing, being I go on my own time, and I work this music, and I see how professionals work it, and it's just been, you get on a TV show, you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna be doing, some scene work, but you never realize you're gonna be diving into a whole new art form. It's been extraordinary. The hair is an extension of his rage. I think it grows out of him that way. They try to cut it, and it just keeps growing back. So rage is fantastic for hair, um, and Moroccan hair oil. Those two things. As soon as they call cut on that last episode, on that last scene for Lester, I'm cutting my hair. I'm gonna cut it. I've had it like this for 5 years. It's time for a faux hawk. No, I don't know what it'll be, but yeah, it's the hair seems to be the most defining quality these days of Lester. So maybe I won't cut it, or I'll cut it and keep it in my pocket. This pocket. You should tune in to the series finale because when I read it, I was shaken, moved, stirred. I laughed my ass off, and it's honestly one of the most beautiful pieces of writing I've ever read. So jump in, bite in, because it's gonna get you.